In today's video, I'm doing a career chat, so welcome. Grab a snack, grab a drink. I'm gonna be going over some of your questions that you submitted through my Instagram. Let's get straight into this. What I did is that I took this little notes page and I organized all the questions that you submitted into categories. Let's get started with the kind of generic questions. How long have you been selling real estate? I did the math. I have been selling real estate for 3 years, 3 months, and 1 date. How to know which cities are growing or selling homes frequently. There's a lot of data out there that you can take advantage. For example, floridarealtors.org. They have tons of data related to this question. They have data on how many, people are relocating to here and which cities are they choosing and things like that. So check out those resources. The National Association of Realtors, Florida Association of Realtor websites, and I believe those are open to the public, so you can just Google the websites and see the data. And if you're not from Florida, definitely search for your local Association of Realtors and they can have all this data for you. Did you pass on your first try on the real estate exam? If not, which attempt did you pass? I actually did pass on my first try for my sales associate licensing, and I'm gonna leave the video on the screen. I talk about all my tips for how I passed on the first try, what helped me, and so you can check that playlist out if you're interested. How to approach a broker as a new real estate agent looking to work with them. Let me tell you, there are a lot of real estate brokers out there that love recruiting, would love to have you on their team. You just have to find them. Don't be scared to approach brokers. This is what they do. Now you have to be careful of where you're looking at, because some brokers just care about recruiting and that's it. They don't actually care about you. So you have to be careful. But some places where you can find teams or brokerages, obviously you can start with the well-known companies like Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, eXp Realty. A lot of these bigger companies will have a lot more resources for you. On the other hand, they will take a bigger cut of your check, depending, of course. That's all varies per agent, per location, per brokerage. So do your research, interview multiple brokerages, and see which one best fits for you. If you find someone on social media that you think you would love to join their team, message them and see if they're recruiting. Another way you can approach brokers is via Indeed.com. I have seen in there teams and brokerages put up post about hiring real estate agents as if it was a traditional job. You can definitely find opportunities there, and if you're not comfortable starting right away as a sales associate, let's say because you need some extra cash before getting paid commissions, sometimes these teams, some of these bigger teams will hire an admin. If you're really good with admin work and office kind of work, receptionist work, or sales, if you want to practice your sales, they can hire you as an ISA, which is someone that is paid a salary pretty much, or depends, don't quote me on that, but it's someone that will do the calls and then you set the appointments for the agent and then they will go out and do the thing. But there's a lot of different ways where you can approach brokers. You just have to know where to find them and asking the right questions. So I do plan on doing a video all about that and choosing a brokerage to work with, but for now I hope that answered your question. The most asked question on Instagram, everyone worded it differently, but I'll just read one of them. If you could start over, what would you do differently? I have no idea. I haven't really thought about this. I don't necessarily regret the way I started things. I think obviously everything led me to where I am today. Let's just circle back to this question later in the video. How was your first year in real estate and what was your biggest struggle? First year in real estate was tough. I think my biggest struggle at the time, as I feel with any other new agent, is just getting leads, consistent leads, and getting consistent paychecks. That was probably my biggest struggle the first year. How long did it take for you to get your first deal? It took me, I think, 2 weeks or so. As soon as I got my license, I started cold calling. Again, all of my journey is in this YouTube channel, so I'm gonna link a video. Oh my God, this is embarrassing, but my first time ever cold calling. That was so awkward. So I'm gonna link that on the screen if you guys wanna check that out. How do you get leads? Do you still cold call? I do not cold call. How do I get leads? I get a lot of my leads through social media, referrals, open houses, sphere of influence, YouTube, which is social media, So that's how I get my leads nowadays. How do you look for clients as a new real estate agent? Do a lot of research on YouTube. I'm sure you can find a lot of ideas. I actually did a video of, I think it's 15 plus prospecting ideas. I'm gonna link it on the screen. And in my website, I actually have a free download where you can download the PDF guide that has like the written list of all of those ideas and more that you can start implementing today for getting leads. So make sure you check that out. Follow a boss, and systems too. I love this question. Follow a Boss is the CRM that I use to manage my real estate business pretty much. And it's an amazing tool. If you are able to get it, I highly recommend it. I am a Follow a Boss nerd. I fell in love with it and I can't wait to share with you more tips on it, about systems as well. One of the things I would do differently is to have Follow a Boss since day one, because I started with the CRM provided by KW at the time. When I started Align, they had the CRM called Copper, which wasn't that good. And then we transitioned into Follow a Boss on like December or like winter of 2022. And from there, my life changed. I literally 3x'd my sales volume after integrating Follow Boss into my business and after obviously doing a lot of work, putting in the work, but Follow Boss was a big part of that. So highly recommend that I highly recommend Follow Boss, but I know obviously if your team doesn't have it, if your brokerage doesn't have it, if you're not able to afford it, just organize, keep everything organized since day one. And if you're able to even separate that's another thing I would do. See, now I'm getting these ideas, these tips. But since day one, if you're able to separate your personal from your business phone number, highly recommend that as well. Tips to get sellers to work with you besides calling, mailing, brochures, seller guides. Again, I'm gonna refer back to that video that I did of 15 plus lead gen ideas for agents because it has a lot of, if not all of my ideas for lead gen in there. So I would definitely check that out. And in there you'll find some really helpful tools to help you attract sellers if that's what you're looking for, without necessarily having to cold call, because there's a lot of ways you can get really creative in this business for that. What prospecting activities are your go-to? Again, I do a lot of just database marketing, social media, sphere, referrals, open houses, things like that. Is it hard to get new clients? Right now, for me, I don't think it's hard to get new clients. It's hard to turn them into an active client because of the market situation, because of the interest rates, because of the pricing, like their sellers not being able to get what they want and all of that. So that's been my challenge for me. When do you need a transaction coordinator? If you're not familiar, it assists you solely on the process of once you go under contract, they take care of the communication with the client. They take care of communication with all the parties in the transaction to make sure that everything goes smooth. My brokerage, KW, they had their in-house transaction coordinator available, and I pretty much used her on the second deal. Like as soon as I did my first deal, because I told myself, oh, I'm just gonna do my first deal to learn the process, and then I'm gonna hire a TC. I wish I would have done it from the first get-go because, and this is another thing I wish I would have done differently, but because they are experts, they are experienced, they're able to communicate with all the parties, they have templates, they have checklists, they're super organized, and their job is literally to keep track of everything, and they're there to assist you as well. So they can help you with deadlines, calculating all the deadlines. The deadlines are some of the most important things on the contract. So you really have to be careful and keeping track of everything, because that's how you protect your client. So they're there to help you with that. And if it's your first deal and you want to look like a rock star to your agent, which you definitely if you want to look like a rock star to your clients, which you definitely should, a TC can help you do that by making you look professional, by making you sound professional, and making the process very smooth and easy for them, because again, they are professionals in the industry. And you don't have to pay them up front. A lot of TCs, at least where I work, they work like you, they get paid at closing. So I would recommend working with one as soon as possible if you can. Do all real estate agents work in an office building every day, or are there any that only work from home? It's actually half and half, because what I learned, a lot of new agents go to the office a lot. You'll see them at the office, but the actual top producers are mainly out there in appointments or working from home with their family while they delegate other things. Or if they are in the office, I've also seen top producers do that, but they're just working on their business, like the behind the scenes, and then you see them go out for appointments a lot of the time, or they're doing trainings with their team, things like that. So it just depends on how you feel the most productive. If you have an office building and you like getting ready every day and going to work, that's a great thing. I kind of miss that sometimes, but working from home, you know, some people are more productive working from home, so you have to find what works best for you. But all real estate agents are different, and it all depends on what they have going on. I know, for example, like some agents that I know, they go to the office like twice a week and meet with their team, meet with their assistants, and then they work the rest of the week from home, go to appointments, all of that stuff. So it's all over the place, really. How long does it take to make your first sale as a new agent? That's really gonna depend on you, on your market, on your work efforts, and a lot of things. So it might take some time. So I would say definitely prepare for worst case scenario and have savings and stuff. Especially with this market, things are taking a lot longer than usual. It's not like in the pandemic where you could list a home and in 2 days have it sold over asking and whatnot. Things are definitely slowing down. So I would, you know, keep that in mind. It does take some time, and I imagine it's taken a little extra long for those new agents entering the industry now. Do you make income every month? I'm taking my courses now thanks to your YouTube inspo. Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. Makes me so happy to hear that. Do I make income every month? Yes, but from commissions and real estate, no. Like I have ups and downs just like everyone else. So some months I might make a lot of money, some months I might make little money, some months I may not make any money, but I always have other streams of income, like for example YouTube, marketing services that I do, and things like that. Can closing gifts be tax write-offs, or do you pay completely out of pocket? So here's the thing with closing gifts. I think they actually changed the rules. So I'm gonna leave an article below. It's super helpful. I think it's every real estate agent should read it or have it bookmarked, because it literally lists all of the potential write-offs that you can take as a real estate agent. So super helpful document, check it out, and it'll have more details in there, I'm sure, about the closing gifts, because they recently changed the rules, so I'm actually not able to answer that. If you take a client to lunch business related, can that be a tax write-off? Yes, and there are certain things you need to do to make sure it is a tax write-off. So again, check out that article that I'm gonna link in the description so you can confirm and make sure you can get that tax write-off. What is your career goal and how are you getting there? It's a great question, because I'm at a point in my career where I'm just pushing through. I don't necessarily have a North Star for my real estate career of where I want to take it, because there's so many different ways I can go about. There's so many endless opportunities in this industry, so I just don't know where to go, but I'm going somewhere. I'm just taking it step by step. Time will tell. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Last question of the day. How are you capitalizing your YouTube channel for the future you? I think this YouTube channel is my baby. I have been a YouTuber since I was 13 years old. That's when I first filmed That's when I filmed my first ever YouTube video, and you'll not find it on YouTube, but this is my dream. Like, this is my baby, and I see me doing this for a very long time, forever. So this channel will change as I change, as my life changes. Capitalizing my YouTube channel for my future is, to me, like building my brand and building my future. That's what this channel means to me, and just sharing my journey. It's like the most beautiful thing, because I can look back at all of this stuff that I've been through, you know, in this channel, and see all of the progress I've made, and just imagine like when I become a real, you know, a top agent, if that's what I'm gonna be, or, you know, as I grow in business, just being able to look back at all of the stuff I documented, and even being able to share that with my children, you know, like that's so crazy to me, and them being able to see, you know, I don't know, and learn, I don't know. It's getting emotional. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment on this video, and I'll see you on my next one.